Hi, we haven't had a multimeter teardown for quite some time, so let's get into it. I just got this Uni-T UT71E multimeter, and what interests me about this one is it's one of the very few meters on the market that has power measurement capability. Watts, here we go, or i.e. it's able to read voltage and current at the same time and display your value in watts there. In this case, it's got the triple display. It displays VA up there with your phase angle of your current, so let's switch that over and it can display voltage and current and your frequency as well. Unfortunately, it's not, I just got it like not knowing much about it. Unfortunately, it's not at all on par with the absolute benchmark instrument, the Gaussian Metrohit Energy multimeter, and I've done a review and teardown on this, and this is an absolutely fantastic multimeter. But this thing costs like 4 digits. This one costs 180 Australian dollars delivered, and it's like a 0.025% class instrument, so they claim. And it's got measurement capability, power measurement capability as well, and it comes with this, unfortunately, it's one of these weird-ass overseas adapters, but it does come with the voltage and current probe as well, i.e. like power measurement. And that's the problem with this thing. Oh god, I'm getting into a review. This is I'm very disappointed that it only seems to have watts, and that's, well, there's two things. One is it's only watts, whereas the Metrohit Energy here, right down to microwatts, it'll go right down. So it looks like it's only designed for using you know, like for mains, measuring mains applications from like a resolution of 0.1 watts and upwards. So fail right there. Really very unhappy with that. And it doesn't actually do energy, it only does power in watts, whereas the Metrohit Energy, hence the name, actually does energy, measures it over the time. Look, and this is the amount of time it's been running, and it can calculate the energy of your circuit over time. So that's, you know, it's absolutely brilliant, and it goes from microwatts all the way up to you know, tens of watts, no problem whatsoever. But this thing can't do it anyway. All right, let's take it apart. I hate these little gold QC stickers here. Oh, it makes my skin crawl. It really does. Doesn't instill a lot of confidence. That's got a machined metal insert in there. Anyway, I don't think I had to actually take that out. And by the way, the battery compartment is garbage. Yeah, they've used a metal threaded insert here, great, but they've only got the one screw, and then you can even screw this in without even getting these little pissant plastic clips to clip in. So they're just like any shock or something, you drop this thing, that whole like a battery, there's a lot of weight in that 9-volt battery. It's just it's just garbage. Just a tiny little amount of force clipping that in, and one screw. Poor design. So let's whip this sucker open. What do we got here? We'll have self tappers, of course. I don't expect metal threaded inserts on a Uni-T meter. Yeah, there we go, straight into the plastic. No fuse holder on the bottom. Another complete fail right there, especially for something that's designed to measure power like this. So anyway, that's, I think that's, oh no, there we go. Might not have had to take, oh yeah, I think I did have to take that top one off. Anyway, let's now crack it open. Twang! I heard the spring. Yep, so we've got some shield in there, as you'd expect, with the transmit and receive. Well, no, it doesn't have transmit and receive lead. It's only got a transmit, so it can't actually receive anything. And lots of springy action. Wow, right off the bat, what a heap of junk. Look at this. It's got the footprints in there for big HRC fuses. What? No, thank you. Little pissant M205 glass fuses. What a heap of garbage. Oh, that is just awful. And it's got these crappy jacks in here as well. Look at those. Oh, mate, look. I can wiggle that with my plastic. Oh, no, that's just, oh, that is disgusting. And looks like they've got a they've put a board up here. These are going to be split jacks. You can look, they've got the 4 points there, and they're taking measurement off there. So they've got input alert on those jacks, presumably. I haven't tried it. So they've got those going down to a header. No, it's not a header. It's soldered directly onto the board down in there. But that's just pathetic. It really is. Incorrect footprint here. Look at these two resistors here. It looks like there was designed to be a much bigger footprint in there, but no, they've used those. Interestingly, there's used MELF packages here. Look, all out of alignment. Bit, how you doing? Don't like that at all. Oh, no. And I'm actually stunned that they've gone to the effort to put a isolation slot there. Oh, jeez, why bother? And that's one pathetic looking PTC on the input there. And it's not like they got, big carbon composite input resistors either. Just regular Joe Bloggs metal films. And look, there's no MOVs. There's no MOVs. What was designed to go across there? I don't know, but it's bloody well missing. And we got nothing. Jeez, give me a break. No MOVs at all, just a single PTC and pissant M205 fuses. Oh, complete fail right there. Then we got a standard package 10-turn trimmer there. I don't know what that thing's adjusting. We've got ourselves a little jumper link there. The jumpers, is that actually... Oh yeah, look, it's going between those two pins there. I have no idea what that's for. But, oh, goodness, yeah, input protection really sucks ass. It really does. And this is supposed to be Cat 4 600 volts. Category 4, folks. You're supposed to be able to use this on, big industrial mains lines. You've got to be shitting me. No way in the world that is going to meet Cat 4, let alone Cat 3. I'd be surprised if it even met Cat 3. There's just not enough clearance there. There's not enough MOVs. There's not enough anything. It's just garbage. And these fuses are just a joke. Oh my goodness. Check this out. Right, this is the COM jack. And it's supposed to be going right up here. Of course, carries the full 10 amp current through the current shunt here. Look, this is the bloody screw hole. Look at how much trace width is left on either side there. Oh, and they've done exactly the same thing on the bottom of the board too. Oh, and I'm stunned that they actually went to the effort to put holes in there for the 9-volt battery clip. So they put some strain relief on that. That's the only half decent thing I've seen so far. And this is supposed to be a 0.025% DC class instrument. And you've got bloody, regular Joe Bloggs 10-turn trimmers and these little pissant surface mount trimmers on the board. What are they doing? But it just doesn't instill any confidence whatsoever. I mean, look at this. This is the ground jack and this is the positive input jack, right? This comes through the resistor over here. Look at the gap in there. What is that, 1 bloody millimeter? You've got to be shitting me. That is ridiculous. Like a 1 millimeter clearance between your positive and your negative jacks. Ah, and that bodged in cap is almost making contact with the case of the bloody crystal there. Unbelievable. Looks like this thing dates from 2012. We've got ourselves a TL072 there, and check out the package that was supposed to be there, but they've put in like a dual footprint. And yep, no surprises, they couldn't afford a real Analog Devices AD636 true RMS converter, so they've got some one hung low Shenzhen market ripoff that they could get this week. Unbelievable. I really enjoy their JFET op amps there. We've got some TL062s. Oh, are they genuine ST? I don't know. Looks like we might have some voltage regulators in there for the main chipset. So they're slightly overkill, I suspect. But anyway, there's a lot of passive action going on around here, that's for sure. But I don't see any precision resistor hybrid, and this is supposed to be a 0.025% class instrument. We've got ourselves something under that shielded can. I can see some trimmers down in there. They would be their trimmer caps, so that's probably for the AC trimming. We have ourselves two headers here, probably JTAG headers would be my guess. Let's look at that. That's just dodgy as. Unbelievable. Let's pop the skirt up on that and get the macro lens out. What do we got? Now that's rather unusual. Look at the silk screen on that. That even looks dodgy. It's a TI 24AV or is it QL? WG4. I'm guessing that's some sort of MSP 430 variant. I just haven't seen that sort of numbering scheme before. There's a 24LC series E squared prom. That looks like bodgy hand soldered in there. That's not terrific. But generally the soldering quality is okay on this thing. I'm not going to complain about that. 32.768 kilohertz watch crystal there, but yeah, it must have a real-time clock in it, obviously. Otherwise they wouldn't bother with that. They're obviously using, for everything else, they're using the internal clock of that micro, no doubt. We've got ourselves another trimmer here, whatever the hell that's doing, but it doesn't instill a lot of confidence. And we've found our voltage reference. It's a Maxim, if it's genuine, well, it's I'm sure it is. Max 6190 AESA. The AESA is important because it's the A one, which is the higher 5 ppm voltage reference. So it is the highest grade one in that particular part. So 5 ppm temp code, 2 millivolts initial accuracy on that puppy. And then we've got a OP1177 precision op amp next to it. There's our 3.999. Why couldn't it be 4? Did they get a special at the Shenzhen market on 3.99 megahertz crystals this week? Oh, goodness. Anyway, so that could be running the micro. Why it's all the way bloody over here? I've got no idea. Is there something on the bottom? Because at the moment, I'm not seeing any ADC on this sucker. Might have to flip the board over. Oh, look. Look, they're getting fancy-pantsy, putting some isolation slots down in there. And there's the contacts on our range switch. Nothing to write home about. The actual quality of the range switch feels okay. And then we can go in here and have a look at our nickel, presumably, nickel-plated contact pads on there. And, well, nothing to write home there about either. And I did wonder why this AC-DC switch on the front, which has just fallen out, felt different to all the others, because look, they've gone for a proper, like, latching switch there. Like, unbelievable, which, of course, goes down into the analog to digital, the true RMS converter down there, because that's what it's designed, the AC-DC, AC plus DC mode on there. But all your other ones are just your regular membrane button rubber-backed conductive contacts on there. So let's lift off this LCD, shall we? Lift it off the board. Careful of those zebra strips. They're probably going to come out. Yeah, no, there we go. That's right. All right, that's some, aha! Now we're talking. Here's our chipset. That is like, it's barely gold. It's like, that's not gold. I don't even know what that is. Unbelievable. Those contacts, just, I have no idea. And aha, that explains everything. That's what we expected to find. Cirrus Tech, it's one of, there's only a handful of, barely a handful of manufacturers of these chipsets. So that's the ES51966P. I'll link in the data sheet down below. Now, interestingly, this is supposed to be a 22,000 count chipset, but this is a 40,000 count meter. So how the hell are they doing that? And we have ourselves a Holtec HT6121B. That's an LCD driver. You can see all the traces going over to the LCD. I guess they didn't have enough lines on their micro. What's that? We've got a 40. We've got to have a 4000 series CMOS in here. Yes, 4011. Beautiful ST brand. And ta-da! What do we have here? That looks, there's our MSP 430. So I don't know what the other TI one on the other side's doing. So this TI part on the top here, look at all these traces. They're running down here, all the way down here. So it looks like, down to these. So it looks like it's doing some sort of range switching, and even, oh no, I thought they were going down here. But anyway, it looks like it's doing possibly some sort of range switching mux type function or something like that perhaps. So it's, like usually the main chipset would handle all that jazz. That handles all of your input, goes to your hybrid divider resistors and everything like that. As I said, no hybrid divider resistor on here, no high quality stuff, so it's got bugger all chance of meeting its 0.025%. If it does, it's just, you know, a fluke. It's not well engineered. This is, well, it's not a fluke. It's, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's interesting. That TI part, if I can get more info on that, I'll post it. But of course, we have our main MSP 430 processor down here. That'd be the JTAG associated with that. And that's it. That's all she wrote on the bottom there. So Cirrus Tech chipset, as you'd expect, they're common in the other 7. I think they use exactly the same chipset in the all the other Uni-T 70 models, like the UT71, and they've got like 4 of them or something like that, Uni-T, and they're bloody weird ass part numbers. And if you're curious to know what's under that shield, well, they're actually it looks like through-hole ceramic caps, like just a bunch of like vertical through-hole parts, and they've isolated that from the LCD here. Okay, well that's fine, but oh geez, it's just, yeah, it's just a slap together this thing using whatever parts they could find. It is not the least bit well engineered. It's just awful. And for those playing along at home, there's the quality of your input jacks. Yeah, they're all split. No, it's just awful. Well, that, folks, right there is a classic example of a piss-poor design and engineered multimeter. I know, obviously, it's not one of those $5 jobs, but geez, it's not a huge amount better. Just the fuses, the input jacks, the lack of any bloody MOVs. It's not, doesn't stand a snowball's chance in hell of meeting any of its ratings. There's no precision thin film resistor network in there for stability. This is supposed to be a 0.05% class instrument. Yeah, they've whacked in a decent, well, half decent Maxim reference in there, but oh geez, I don't know how they're getting their 40,000 counts out of the 22,000 count Cirrus Tech chipset there, and it's just awful. They're bodged in not even a genuine true RMS converter, and they've got little trimmer pots everywhere. And you got to be shitting me! It's just awful. My God, $180 down the drain. And that spring there is dangerously close to touching that metal shield there. They've got like a shaft inside there. They've got a big stiff pin going up inside there, if you can see that. But jeez. And I know this wasn't supposed to be a review, but I'll do a few token things. I'm sure the fanboys will want to see me hook the thing up and do a couple of basic tests. Anyway, here we go. It's supposed to be on millivolts. It's supposed to be a 0.025% class instrument. I'm not going to count the counts. I'm just going to, you know, go ballpark here, and we're already 0.04% out. So yeah, doesn't meet its spec according to that Agilent. But okay, if you do go in there and count the counts, it's actually 0.025% plus 5 counts. So yeah, okay, when you include the counts, it's within spec. And it looks like it's just going to squeeze within the 0.05% spec there on the 4-volt range. And yes, it is 40,000 count. And current-wise there we go. That's 1 milliamp test current. Yeah, it's well within its rated spec of, let's have a look, for DC current, ta-da, here's the manual, a 0.1% plus 15 count, or thereabouts. Anyway, well within spec there, but yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science to calibrate a meter, to tweak a meter to be within spec. So a lot of the fanboys claim, oh, the Uni-Ts, they're so accurate, they're so super duper, wow, it's beside the point. There's no precision thin film resistor network in there. There's no quality precision engineering in this thing. So, and the trim pots in there, who knows what they've done to these things. Who knows what you'll get. It could just be pot luck, and you expect it to have good, you know, drift performance over time. Blah. And the resistance spec on this thing's pretty ordinary. Actually, at best is 0.3% plus 8 counts, which is certainly nothing to write home about in an otherwise claimed 0.025% class instrument. And it's, you know, you go up to the 400K range there, and it's like 0.5%, 1% up on 1 meg. Pretty ordinary, and yeah, it is within spec. I have measured this, of course, re-verified. It's bang on 1K with my Agilent bench meter, and yeah, it's within spec. The spec is 997 there, so it does meet it, but yeah, it's certainly not bang on. And I couldn't be bothered measuring it, but the diode range there, maximum output voltage 2.8 volts, so you're not going to be able to get a white LED lit, or maybe just. And the good thing about the capacitance range, yes, it does have 1 picofarad resolution there. Claimed spec is pretty good. I'm not going to bother measuring it, so yeah, at least you get the resolution. I like meters that have the resolution, but you'd expect it on a 40,000 count instrument. And yeah, there you go. I mean, you could have seen that this thing was hopeless at power measurement before you even got there. Yes, its maximum resolution is 0.1 watts, as we saw, with a 2% plus 10 count accuracy, which is okay-ish if you want to measure mains power stuff, but what's the point? You can buy better mains power things to do it. So you wouldn't buy this meter just for its power measurement capability, because it's just useless for, like, you know, precision DC to DC converters, for example, stuff like that. It's just, no, it's almost a bit of a gimmick. And it comes in a little carry case like this, and you do get all the accessories. You do get the power thing, as we saw before, but you know, not for your particular country, obviously. I bought this one from a dealer here in Australia, so it didn't come with the Australian plug. Apparently an authorized dealer of Uni-T products. Anyway, you do get the USB interface serial lead, which is fantastic. We get ourselves a dodgy looking temperature probe. I don't know, yeah, that just doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me, really. I just wouldn't trust that as far as I could throw it, I don't think. 25 in here, is it? Well, yeah, kinda. That's good enough for Australia. I do like the fact that you get the short LCR meter type alligator clip leads like that, and also you get 2 big, looks like alligator clips that just plug into your probes down in there, so that's alright, bonus. And as for the probes here, well, I'm not going to write home about these. It's got a bit of stress relief on the back. They don't feel like good quality silicone leads at all. They just feel like your usual cheap ones that come with your usual cheap meters. Nominal 600 volt Cat 4 10 amp rated. They do have some sort of rating on them, on the actual cable itself. Would you trust it? I don't know, because it's never going to meet, as we saw, the Cat 4 rating of the meter, let alone probably Cat 3. So yeah, it's just all bullshit. It really is. They're not very sharp at all. Don't like those. They do have finger guards, but yeah, they're pretty ordinary probes. And the continuity buzzer, well, that is quite possibly the world's worst, slowest continuity buzzer. At least it's latched. Hopeless. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot. No, this isn't the same instrument, it's a different one. I actually have here in the lab the UT71E. I had it sitting up on the shelf. It's only a 20,000 count meter, but it's the same 71, but it's the A series instead of the E series, sorry, and there's multiple ones. Let's have a quick squiz inside this. I'm not going to do anything else. I've already wasted enough of your time, and ta-da! Look, very similar, all the same piss poor stuff we saw before with the M205 fuses and the lack of any MOVs and the crappy input jacks and everything else, the true RMS converter. It's all the same. It's not quite the same. It's not quite the same board, is it? Maybe. We've got a shield there. Yep. Sorry. Excuse the crudity of that. That's got to be the same. It's got to be an almost identical design. I think it is. If you actually compare it, they've got a slightly different look cap there to what they had before. But yeah, it's basically, I'm not going to bother taking out the board because I'm sure it's going to have exactly the same chipset on the other side. In fact, I think I have read that it does actually have that chipset, that exact same chipset. So there you go. in this case, unlike, like, I believe the 61 series is different. The 61, like, there's big differences between the E and all the other letter ones, apparently. So, hey, I've got one of those. I could open it too. Let's have a Uni-T field day. And here we go, another bonus. Here's the rather highly regarded UT61E, i.e. like highly regarded for the price. It's actually a 22,000 count one as well. Pretty darn good for the price. Can't remember offhand, but it is like $100 or something, or sub $100. I think it's like $60 or something like that. Anyway, let me double check. Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, bare feet, sorry. Bare feet again. Oh, this is really professional video blogging here. Bloody tripod. Camera's too heavy. I need new tripods. Anyway, this one does actually have, looks like some HRC fuses in there. Not the big daddies, but, you know, quite reasonable. It's still got the same crappy split jacks in there by the looks of it. But, well, we got 2 PTCs, no MOVs. Is it highly regarded? No, I wouldn't. If it doesn't have MOV protection, geez, I mean, you know, this is supposed to be, once again, supposed to be Cat 4 600 volts, but of course they can just slap that on, and they've got a stupid CE symbol, which means jack all. They're not like properly UL listed, like this one I just happen to have here, for example, this Brymen here. You can be pretty darn sure it's going to meet its specs. This is a nice little meter, the Brymen BM257. I rather like this. You've probably seen it lately, but look. Here we go. This one's only 300 volts Cat 4, 600 volts Cat 3. So not as good as what this puppy claims to be, but it's properly UL listed and UL tested. That's the underwriter's laboratory. They independently test and certify these things that it meets these requirements. The Uni-Ts don't have that. Hence why they just slap those things on and they can get away with whatever. And here you go. Here's just a quick comparison. This is inside the Brymen here. Look, they've got the massive big HRC fuse in there for the 10 amps. They've got the proper rated, like, you know, these just look like they're, who the hell manufactured that? Right? I don't know. Does that have, oh yeah. No, Asia Fuse, right? Never bloody heard of them, right? But this one will have, look, a proper, it looks like, yeah, look, proper SIBA fuses, right? Proper quality brand name fuses in there. They've got the much larger ones, and this is a lower rating than this one. This will never pass this crap Uni-T, right? If you sent this to underwriters laboratory, they'd just laugh at you and, you know, watch the magic smoke escape when they blow the thing up. So this one, interesting second ball construction. I've shown this before, so I won't go into details, but look, you've got some MOVs under there, all on a separate isolated board. You've got your isolation slot down in there, and it's properly designed. It has to be to meet the proper testing requirements for the underwriters laboratory, and Uni-T don't do any of that. That's why they're just, you know, cheap Uni-T, and that's why they have such a bad reputation. Even though I haven't done a full review of this, I can pretty much give you my verdict. For a teardown, thumbs down, and as a meter in general, thumbs down. It is a complete loser. Don't waste your money. The power measurement thing is an absolute gimmick. Yeah, its build quality is bloody awful. It's not going to meet its spec ratings, and this is the problem with Uni-T. This is why they have such a bad rep. So, okay, I'll grant it, some of their meters aren't bad, but it's pot luck. And like, they've got like 5 different meters in this range. They've got the UT71A, B, C, D, and E, or whatever. And like the same thing with the 61. And like the 61 series is quite well regarded if you get the right letter after at the end of it. It's just, oh, it's so confused, so hit or miss, these Uni-Ts. This one is absolute garbage. Some of the others are decent, but this is why they have such a shitty rep. You just don't know what you're going to get. And this one, $180, God, forget it. Oh, anyway, sorry to all you Uni-T fanboys out there, but this one is a heap of garbage. Don't touch it. So if you want to discuss it, jump on the EEVblog forum down below. If you want to flame me that, you know, oh, this is a good value meter, oh, I think they're pretty good, and well, the UT61E, that's pretty good meter, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, right. Go on, jump on the forum, have a go, you mug. Catch you next time.